this point, don't you think the consensus in Bitcoin from the developer, from the core developers, has changed? It's not the same as the block size war anymore. It looks like a completely shift. And so the more nodes, the better, of course. But also the more voices, the more a bit messy, confusing that can be. Because Bitcoin survived before to a huge threat, and now it risks getting lost. What do you think?
Yeah, this is true. The core contributor are not the one that I start to contribute with.
Ciao Francesco, ciao Vincenzo.
Ciao.
Hey, hello everyone. Hello Vincenzo.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Today for the Store of Bitcoin podcast, we started to talk about also technical topics with the high skilled expert like the developer we had today. His name is Vincenzo Palazzo. He's the tech lead of Ocean, open source developer, Rust coder, and involved also in many startup and the Bitcoin ecosystem for a long time. Welcome, Vincenzo.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Welcome.
and Alessandro, yeah,
Yeah.
is the main host of our podcast. So I will start by asking you what is your current role in Bitcoin? How do you see it, and why are you interested in developing to it? If you can go through your life story after graduation, did you attend tech school? What brought you into this phenomenal asset? What technical feature of it has caught your attention, and how are you delving into it at the moment?
Okay, I need to make a very big TLDR here, but I started my university, a computer science university, because I was just curious in learning coding, right? And when you are in South Italy, you know better than me. This computer science is like what internet. So in 2015 was just something that was arriving in South Italy, probably. And I find this in this situation where my girlfriend was at the school with some computer science program, and I was helping her in passing the exam, right, in the same day. And I was say, "Oh, this is cool. I can make a program that make the calculation for me." And from that moment, I was interested in learning in coding stuff, right? And I went to the university with the not with the humility that I was not interested in learning physics, mathematics. So I said I want to do just science stuff, right? And I choose my university, a small one, not a bigger one. I went to Potenza, and Potenza was one of my best choice in life because it was a full focused program on programming, and was really different from the other university in Italy at the moment at the time. And there I find one of my first working career opportunity with Arizona State University, but also a master bachelor thesis that was on Bitcoin. So while I was writing my bachelor thesis on Bitcoin and contributing on Bitcoin, I think my first contribution was a typo in a BIP and on Bitcoin. And but then I was doing open source software, and Arizona State University took one of my projects in one of their project called JMars that is used by NASA in some exploration part the NASA project. And in 2019, I found myself in Arizona with $10 of coffee that I cannot afford it, and my my manager at the time said, "Okay, now your library will be used at the end of the month in a NASA mission that was the Mars 2020, that I think is still the most important one of NASA." And then I quit Arizona State University. I returned in Italy, and I keep going on open source stuff on Bitcoin. And by accident, I began one of the 30 people more involved in the Lightning Network open source, in the Lightning Network protocol development. Basically, I am between the 30 people in the world that is doing protocol development on Lightning, and one of the few that don't have a company that is doing Lightning stuff full time. Probably this was a good TLDR. I don't know if I
No,
missed some pieces.
it was extremely clear. At the end of the day, without the technical side advancement, the advancement, because Bitcoin wasn't born as it is thanks to the developer who kept tweaking the code and making better and better. It's a never-ending process. So looks like the leap from working for humanity with NASA you made and working on Bitcoin wasn't that far in the end. It's looks like the open source technology is a bridge which well fits all around in all of these fields, and for sure Bitcoin and together with exploration of spaces and open source development is a connection, is a strong connection. You also told me you had some Linux background. Do you feel that the Linux environment you many times told me looks a bit similar to a Bitcoin environment nowadays? Can you recall it?
No. When I went back to Italy, I started a master thesis, master courses in type system and programming languages, and that moment where Rust was getting popular outside of the crypto space, and I get involved in the Rust compiler, and I 2 years ago, 4 years ago, the Rust landed in the kernel, and from that moment, I am helping the kernel community to get around the compiler, and I am one of the people in the middle of the Rust compiler and the kernel module in Rust. And so at that moment, I start to see a lot of analogy that there is with the Linux kernel, right? The Linux kernel was this, the Linux machine was always built for desktop, and it will never, is not there yet, right? So the desktop is now macOS, is now Linux, is Windows, and for some capability, Ubuntu now is getting a little bit stable to say, okay, we can put this inside a Dell. But at the idea right now is that Lightning more. The analogy that I told to you that was from Linux kernel and Lightning Network in premise, because Bitcoin is a little bit this basic layer that Satoshi written proposed at the time, plus I don't know, a couple of big improvement like Segwit, like Taproot, like I don't know, probably Covenant at some point. But the basic layer is always the same. So if I want to cooperate with the network, I need just to write a new layer, the code that replicate what Bitcoin Core does. In Lightning Network is a little bit different because a feature is considered standard only if two of the four implementation are compliant with this feature. What happened if the third implementation would be never compliant? Right, this is the chicken and eggs problem where the Linux kernel is there, right? Because we have all the pieces to build a really nice desktop environment with Linux, but somehow the distribution is not good sometime, or somehow someone will break some driver in the Linux kernel that no one cares. And so there is this whole movement part between that is given by the open source, by this contribution of all the people, that is not giving us the Apple stability, right? Apple say, okay, we can see only the code, we can ship only the code, and we can make all this hardware connected by them without that you don't touch one button, right? Instead, on Linux, you need to cry 2 days to connect a printer to it. So probably it's the same thing with Lightning, right? To conclude the analogy, there are really good wallets like Phoenix, Apple quality, right? That you just scan an invoice, pay, and you're done. And then you have very bad wallet that they ask you to do everything. That is the Linux case, right? Where you can do everything, but you need to have a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, I can see there are a lot of similarities. But let's not forget, Alessandro is an engineer, so he's well versed with mathematics, and
Yeah.
mathematics together with computing, IT is fundamental, is the pillar of Bitcoin. And a question for Alessandro, like, uh, how many from your classmates at university you are still in touch with, are into Bitcoin? And do you think that fundamental mathematics can open their mind to this new technology, or there are some barriers, some fences somehow, somewhere?
Yeah, I studied mechanical, so not informatic, but still I think the engineering background and mindset helps at least to grasp or be interested in Bitcoin. I think also from engineering we are quite early. Less than 10% of the people I know from my university, they are still they are interested at a decent level. The others, some they start to be interested, and some others they are not interested. So I think we're still early. Whatever class of people or range of people we take. But for sure, engineering probably it will be higher than the average.
Okay. Yeah, so it's not enough, a bit higher, more
No,
chances.
because Bitcoin is very multi subjects, and maybe they are versed in technology, but they think that is consumed too much energy, or they don't know why we need money, so a supply limit. They don't know anything about the Austrian School of Economics. They are not interested in how economics works. And so even if they understand, they could understand the blockchain, but for which purpose? This is one of the reasons why.
Yeah. You see, and there, Kasim, I mean, you were former Amazon engineer, so you work for a big firms. And in there is the question for both of you. I mean, why would a skilled developer, engineer, choose to work on Bitcoin aside of the passion when he can turn down an offer from Google and or Microsoft or Amazon? And how do you see both of you playing out in this field? First, Vincenzo from the technical and development side, but also interested in you, Alessandro, from engineering and corporate perspective.
I will go, or Alessandro, you want to
Yeah,
Please
continue?
yeah,
go ahead,
Vincenzo,
Vincenzo.
yes.
So yeah, I quit Amazon because it's the same thing where you are in a big tech, you want to be in a startup, and where you are in a startup and you want to be in a big tech, right? Usually, you are in a what I felt at the time in Amazon, that was this big process, that was just a process that you have to follow, and at the end you don't see the result, but you discuss the result 10 times. And so probably, yeah, from an engineer from a big tech should go to Bitcoin only in a couple of cases, and not always, because Bitcoin is not like Amazon, right? In Amazon, if AWS feature is not good because it's not attracting, I don't know, investment, it's not attracting other startup in using it, you turn it on, you turn it off, and put another feature, right? In Bitcoin, you can do it. You can't because you are stuck with the protocol. So if you are in a problem, you need to fix this problem, and there is no a lot of way of how to fix it. So I don't feel that a lot of people are willing to put um, a lot of politics into engineering work. I think this is the big part that is missing on bringing some engineer value inside the the Bitcoin community in general. And probably on another note on that is that the engineering at some point, not everyone want to do engineering because they have passion, but just because they have a good job and they want to escalate quickly on the range, right? They want to be a project manager, and Bitcoin don't have much big tech company that allow to do that, right? Usually you are the CTO and you are also the programmer that are writing the code. Mostly you have another couple of people, and if you go to see in the market, there are only few people, a few company that have this scale architecture where there are a lot of people from big tech inside it. That is at the moment that is block. And block inside the Spiral team, that is the open source. There are a lot of people from Google, from Amazon, and so on. So probably they have the most. So another big tech need to work on Bitcoin to attract talent
Yeah.
on
But also,
Bitcoin.
Alessandro, in your opinion, why would the manager or the corporate level choose Bitcoin if you're really passionate about it? Is the passion going to be enough to make his day-to-day job lighter, more enjoyable, happier, or that becomes secondary? I'm talking about after 10, 15 years of work for something you maybe could like less than Bitcoin. Is that enough to make the leap?
I think, as Vincenzo said, so firstly, the big passion for Bitcoin at 360 degree is needed, necessary. I don't think it's always sufficient. I see the world now for Bitcoin now mostly for engineers, more from the tech side, as Vincenzo was saying. In Amazon or in other big company, there is not only the developers, but there are also project manager, senior manager, directors. And so far in Bitcoin, there are not similar company. Most of them, they will not make the move. It will be mostly from developer. But with time, price will go up, adoption will grow. So also this tech company will grow at one point, and there will be more. There will be an inflection point also of that, similar with adoption, I guess. But we are not there yet, at least for jobs.
Okay. But talking about open source, Vincenzo, there is a small, it's not even so small because now there are big donors talking about the open source. People who choose to work open source just on grants year after year. Did you experience that? I think so for a part of your life. Do you think it's practical for developer to go down that path?
Yeah, I was a Brink grantee a while back, and then I was also an open source grantee. And the grant process is improving over the year. So the most difficult part for a grant is that you need to choose a project. It's like be a contractor the year every year, right? You need to say, but you don't have the project that is proposed to you, but you are proposing the project. So you say, hey, I came to you and I do this job, and this is how much money I need, and you are free to work 1 year on that. These are drawbacks, right? If you are a very stable and well-known engineer inside the community, it's easy to find work. It's easy. You have plenty of project in mind. If you are not a well-established engineer, right now it's really difficult to break in this grant system because it's 1 year and you don't know if the next year will be renewal. So this is something. This is one of the big problem of the open source right now. Funding. There are some companies that are doing long-term grant contributions that are, if I remember correctly, 2 year long. But still, after 2 years, you need to think another project to do that. But 2 years most are still good because some startup live shorter than 2 years, right? Not shorter, but around that age,
Around the
right?
time,
So
yes.
we give 3 years to a startup, right? Don't you? At least. So probably a grant that is longer in that way can be helpful. I think also this is also one of the point that most of startup are not finding good developers because the developers are stuck inside this grant adventure. Because, as you say, the amount of people that are putting money for open source development, like Jack Dorsey, like other bunch of people that have the money, I think also Tether is putting money inside open source, so all this kind of stuff. Um, Usually the grant should be a little bit lower of what a company can propose, because if it's higher, I'd take a grant and I do whatever I want for 1 year. Why I need to go in a company and don't make the same amount of money, right? So this is a little bit the situation of grant inside the ecosystem. And there is some people that love the grants, some people that hate the grants. I am in the middle, right? So is I love for the freedom, but I don't really want to make another grant proposal for the next year. So
Yeah, Alessandro, want to add anything on the open source, or something you never experienced, I imagine? But did
Would
you
be
know anyone the Bitcoin ecosystem going down that path?
no, not on that part.
Yeah. On this point, so here comes the topic of startups in Bitcoin. No? You often attend American conferences or side events. So you have had the opportunity to see the two worlds, we in Europe, here in Lugano, where you live, where I live, and in the US. So you especially attended the Presidio Bitcoin, if I not wrong.
yep.
So yeah, what do you say is different? Because we know they are disruptor, especially on the West Coast, and is that still the same in Bitcoin, or where can the European ecosystem for startup, even if smaller, stand out against the big opportunities available in America?
I was at the Presidio Bitcoin thing this summer. Not this summer. This May, I guess, because we are already in summer. We are now in the summer. Well, as you know, I am an American by design, right? So I just born in Europe, but I don't know how. But I really like American in general. And I think one of of the reason is that I grew up in a very polarized decade where everything was from American, right? WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, everything was made by American. TV show was made by American. Who cares? So American is cool, and we are not able to reach them. This is my basic point, but I think there are some differences, as you say. Europe is this small culture, small where the startup are really struggling in funding, finding funding. Instead, in US, you just talk with a random guy in the street and you make money for a startup. So this is true.
I know.
Yeah. And probably the big thing that the Americans are struggling right now is probably find people and find solution for problem that people wants. For instance, I don't know, right now, Cash App or Square will have a problem of, I don't know, making payment with all this point of sale that they announced in Miami in the Bitcoin conference in where was this year, Las Vegas, probably. And they announced that they support they will support Bitcoin payment in all the Square payments, the point of sale, and but they will have probably some problem at the payment handle system. Like, I don't know, you will use Bolt 11 or Bolt 12 that are two feet of the Lightning Network. You will go to try to use Arc or not. So American right now is inside this bubble of, okay, we have 10 things that may works, but we don't know how works or what works, right? So they put money in all 10 and then the last one will survive. Instead, in Europe, you can find this kind of thing that you are not running just because you need to arrive first, but you need to make a solution that works and that is reasonable. So probably in Europe, you are able more to attract engineers that are loving the problem and not much the money. And instead, in US, you just need a horse that is able to run the race, right? Because you need to arrive first. So you need to hire Google people, Amazon people, Facebook people, because they need to ship on amount of on a range of time. Like, keep an example like Lightning Spark. Lightning Spark don't have anyone inside Bitcoin, but still they are still shipping every, I don't know, every year something new. So probably this is the main difference that I see between US and Europe.
Yeah, but maybe that can lead to better quality outcome, because
Yeah,
if you that good to make it in a hostile environment, not a difficult environment, like maybe the quality should be higher. That's
yeah,
great. Yeah, Relay is a European artist. It's great. It's great.
yeah. No, I think also, you if you have time to build your solution with time, you don't have a deadline, right? You don't have a strictly deadline like, hey, I need to ship by this time, otherwise my competitor that is less competitive than me at the solution level arrive first and get finished first. In Europe, you don't have much competitor, right? Or if you have this competitor are trying to do the same solution of you, or they are completely out of the way, and is not really a competitor. So I can see the war between Europe and US, like Spark and Arc right now, like with Arc Labs, that is mostly an European company, also with the team that is based in Europe, and Spark, that is a US company. They arrived first on the market, but now Arc is um, a little bit better than Spark from the custodial model that they choose, right? The Spark is a state chain, instead Arc allow you to also, if the server will not cooperate to you, to have an unilateral exit on chain. So I like to right now mainly the idea that I am trying to explain here mm, is pictured by Arc and Spark at the moment.
Yeah. So you
That
work.
Spark is winning because they are shipping fast, and
No, no.
the Spark team is the first, is full of Google and Facebook
Yes.
people.
PayPal, former PayPal, I find.
Yeah, and yeah, also the CEO is someone that is able to close some deal, right?
No, no. Now we are seeing many layer twos. There was just Liquid. Now there is this one, and there's Enduro Touch. So there are many layer twos, and then that's great to see. I think the problem we have in Europe is the perception. So you are currently working as a tech lead for Ocean Mining,
Mhm.
which is in American terms a startup, but in European terms is a big firm because so that's where we can see the difference now, right? And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can you expand more on your role on Ocean and what are you currently actually building there on the code perspective and yeah,
Yep.
more on that.
Yeah, probably on Ocean, I am the Lightning tech lead. I am leading my own team where I am the only dev, so I am perfect as I am. And basically, what I build around Ocean is all the Lightning interaction that Ocean need to do with this. I am in charge of trying to use the protocol in a way that keep Ocean as it is, like permissionless, transparent. That you can go on the website and you can take a couple of information and verify yourself that the payout happened. That this is really what Lightning is not built for, right? Because with Lightning, you want privacy. You don't want to show that this payment is happening, right? You want to prove to the that you pay the invoice, but you don't want to show everyone that you pay the invoice, right? Why you want to do that? And at the time, there was a problem that as you know, a miner get paid every different time during the day. So you need a way to ask an invoice every time that it's time of payout, right? So one of the things that I did in Ocean is working with the community of the Lightning Network community to make stable Bolt 12. And Bolt 12 is this way of is a protocol to fetch different invoice or reusable is an reusable offer or a reusable invoice that you can that encode all the information to add a new invoice to the node that generate this offer. And this is the one thing that I'm working on. And the other thing is our big goal to make a marketplace built on Lightning, where the miner can sell the proof of work that they are doing or the shares that they currently own for early Bitcoin that a buyer will go to buy on the share market. And then when the miner will find a block, where the pool will pay directly the buyer at some point. So it's like you buy Bitcoin in a discount because the miner want to buy want the money because they want to pay the electricity, and the buyer put the money all in because probably it's a liquidity provider or they want they can do this swap, and at some point in the future they will receive the payout or on chain by the pool itself. This is the general idea. We are still in the thinking phase, right? And but this is the general idea of what we are doing on Ocean with Lightning.
Interesting.
I see.
Could you also explain to us, Vincenzo, the difference between custodial and non-custodial Lightning models?
Yeah, this is also a very big word that we did on Ocean, right? Because Ocean is permissionless, but you cannot force the miner to use a custodial wallet. Well, you can use it, but it's better that you don't use it. Otherwise, you mine, you make your own block, but then you put your payout money in a custodial wallet, so it's kind of weird. And in Lightning, there are different way of building custodial and non-custodial wallet, right? And for instance, one of the best example that I have in mind is Phoenix. Phoenix is a non-custodial wallet, but there are some pinpoint that make this different from the other non-custodial wallet. Usually, in a Lightning Network wallet, what you have to do to make a non-custodial wallet, you need to have your mnemonic backup. That is already difficult, right? You can. This is the reason that Francesco is building Bitvault, right? It's difficult to keep your mnemonic. And what happens if you lose it? But in Lightning, you need also to keep your database backup. That is a new concept, right? Why I should keep my database around. So a lot of wallets are putting this inside Google Drive, but okay, fine. And then you need also to make sure that when you restart from a backup, you are restoring the backup from the last version. Otherwise, the people can steal your money because you are violating the protocol. So the idea of non-custodial wallet in Lightning is really complex. So for this reason, there are wallets of Satoshi that are making a super amazing, easy to use custodial wallet that everyone use. The Phoenix approach is you still the approach of Phoenix is to extend the protocol to make the mnemonic the single point of failure. So you use the Lightning wallet like you use the on-chain wallet, you restore a mnemonic, and then they use the protocol to back up the channel and to do all the things that I said before under the hood on top of the Lightning Network. For sure, if there is only a company that is doing this kind of model, is kind relying on this company that is trying to provide you this service. But if you are able to decentralize the protocol that they are building, you are able to also decentralize the single point of failure that at this moment is the company that is building Phoenix. So there are different ways to build custodial and non-custodial Lightning node. And there are trade-offs that you can make at some point. I know that there are people working on Spiral on different trade-offs that are using Spark for a small amount of money before opening a channel, because I also ignored the fact that you have to manage channels in Lightning that will make also more difficult to do to run a self-hosted or self-custodial Lightning wallet, because you need also to manage the channels. What Phoenix does for you too on the under the hood. So probably I went a little bit on a very long road here, but this could be a really the most simple explanation that I can give you on,
Thank
on the
you.
difference.
No, it was very clear. Also resonates with what me and Alessandro last year of this podcast by interviewing all the Austrian economy experts. You touch a very hot point on the Lightning, which is the privacy. I mean, in the West, we found out, we have seen that the use case of Bitcoin as a mean of payment is privacy. If you want privacy, you want to use Bitcoin, and therefore you want to use Lightning. So now Lightning has high liquidity also. You don't need the coin join to do even $2,000. People informing me. And we have seen Light Spark with $10,000, but yeah, maybe not every day. But so on the difference between custodial, like Wallet Satoshi, or non-custodial, what are the degree of anonymity there? If I want to stay really anonymous, is there any difference? Or at the end of the day, it's all the same liquidity which comes from your side or from the Wallet Satoshi side, it doesn't matter. Has that an impact, or what would you use if you want to have the best, the most anonymous payment?
This is a really great question. The problem is there are two kind of things, right? Cash App is also another custodial wallet that is using Lightning. So for sure, if I use Cash App and I receive from a node that is anonymous, right? That is someone in the network like me, Cash App can reveal this information, because I know that Cash App know who I am, right? Because they have a single node and they make accounts on top of this node. Probably, I don't know, but I guess they are doing something like that. So they use this big node that they make a lot of channel for every user. I don't know, something like that. So at some point when you receive on Cash App, they can ask the proof of funds. You sell a pair of shoes, you need to disclose the people that are sending you money. So now the problem is the payment was multi hop payments or direct payments. So the my node that I am buying from you the shoes, and you are on Cash App, I am connected directly to Cash App and paying directly Cash App. So it's a chew up. So probably Cash App is able to find me with a vulnerability analysis, or there are very difficult way of making this anonymous, because Lightning at the moment is also traceable on chain. So if I open a channel with a Kraken UTXO, Kraken know my identity, so I know that I opened a channel. And okay, they cannot know with who I am interacting, but they can attack me because I am revealing my node on chain, right? Because there is this fingerprint on chain. So to be really anonymous in Lightning with the current state of the art, we need a clean Bitcoin UTXO to open the channel. No one knows that this channel is you. Then you need to open the channel, go on chain. With the funding transaction, you create a channel and you don't need to announce to the network that you are this node. So you need also to make your private node private as possible. You don't need to reveal your node. You don't need to reveal your EP. You need to be private and don't need to be connected with no one can leak your identity. And on top of that, you should use Bolt12 because it's preserving also the sender privacy and the receiver privacy as well. For instance, I will make the difference between Bolt 12 and Bolt 11. Bolt 11 is the de facto at the moment payment method that you can send money on internet with Lightning, but the Bolt 11 have a problem that is preserving the sender privacy, so no one know that I am sending the money to you, but you are revealing the receiver privacy. So you are revealing yourself with the Bolt 12, right? So hey, I am this node, this is my information, and all this. With Bolt 12, we are also trying to preserve the receiver privacy. So the people that are receiving money are also under this privacy control. So if you're stuck on top of these privacy rules that I try to explain to you in a very bad way, you can be anonymous, but it's super hard. You make a mistake, you fuck up all the other stuff that you that you
So
are
for the
doing.
simple fact you have a Phoenix wallet on your phone that brings to a
Yes.
data carrier, brings to the SIM card, so you're basically doomed. Unless you run your own Lightning node and you enter with a coin joined the UTXO into it, run
Yeah.
your Lightning node, and then from there you can start thinking to be anonymous.
Yeah, but I need also to point out that Phoenix have a really fantastic privacy model. Because they never reveal the node the node ID to the public. So the node that you have on the phone is revealed only from to the sync. That is the company that the exit point, I call them. Your phone on Phoenix is connected to a big node that is called the liquidity service provider. This is the only node that know that there is a mobile node with this ID. Probably ID. I don't know how. I don't know very well the protocol that they are using, but from the external point of view, from the external point of view of any payment that go in the network, if you make a payment from Phoenix, no one is knowing that it's coming from you. And also if you are receiving from Phoenix, because they are making a very trade-off that is pointing to anonymize the receiver. And the trade-off of privacy here is also a little bit it's not a trade-off, because you need to hope that also the other Lightning implementation provide the feature of the protocol that Phoenix is using. In this way, you can choose the LSP. So you can run your own LSP probably in the future. You can choose your friend LSP. You can build a community LSP that is not storing any information on the database. And you can switch from Phoenix, the Phoenix LSP to your community LSP. and you are preserving more privacy, because I think at some point, if need to reveal something, right, you know better than me how this works. If the government want to put in jail you, you give up the database. Fuck off, I don't want to go in jail.
Yeah, the most dangerous thing is thinking that we are anonymous when reality.
Yeah,
But
yeah, true.
yeah, yeah. But Lightning as a protocol, if you use this procedure, you observe it, and you have your own XO, your node, and then you also go through the Phoenix wallet. Is it guaranteed to 99% guarantee, or do we still need the ARC to have better anonymity, because somehow Lightning is not the top notch of anonymity?
I think Arc is not giving you some anonymity improvement. It's a new protocol. I need to think a little bit more about that. But if you describe right now Lightning like a protocol right now, okay, it's not giving you any. It's really difficult to be anonymous. You need to be really paranoid. Like right now, you need to run your you need to buy right now to be anonymous on with a mobile phone. You need to buy the mobile phone from a black market. You need to run a SIM that you buy in Bitcoin. It's super crazy, and you don't know if you are still anonymous, because then your phone will connect it to your home Wi-Fi without by mistake, and you mess up everything. So same thing with Lightning, and but the problem of Lightning is that it's not like TCP. We are not at the end of the protocol, right? If you change TCP right now, you need to deal with it, right? It's what it is, right? You cannot change it. Instead, Lightning, right now, if you go to the protocol specification, is a little bit ahead of the implementation that on the Lightning implementation, right? We have splicing already in the protocol, dual funding, taproot that is preserving a lot of privacy. Then we are working on the taproot gossip that preserve a lot of more privacy. At this point, with all this feature in, I think in 2-3 years, we can talk about privacy in Lightning, and we can see that it's a very improvement in the protocol without using external protocol like Arc or like Sparkle or all this kind of thing. And from the Arc point of view, I don't really know if there is any privacy improvement from Lightning, because the only thing that makes sense for you on Lightning with Arc is channel factory. So you want to open 20 channel at one time, and you open this channel in a virtual UTXO that is Arc. So they are able to open this, make a channel in a virtual UTXO with this virtual mempool that they call it, and you don't touch the chain, but you stay in the Arc protocol, and you get better privacy, but not better privacy, better scalability of opening channel. But I don't think we get any improvement in privacy on that.
Yeah, just a few seconds to remind to our audience that this episode is sponsored by Bitvault. Bitvault.sv is the first wallet vault solution to solve the problem of physical attacks and hacks, thanks to our groundbreaking time delays over multi-sig technology. So I invite you to check it out on bitvault.sv and subscribe for the free beta tester launching in October. Thank you very much. Let's go to the next question, which is your role in Arc. And how do you see you as one of the top Lightning developer collaborating with this new amazing project?
Yeah, I am just working with them in the free time. We inside the Rust crate at the moment, playing around. I like the idea and how I get interested in Lightning at the beginning. Right now, I'm interested in Arc because they are solving one of the problems that we are not reaching in Bitcoin. Right, is bringing Bitcoin to the masses, or bringing the crypto idea to the masses, right? USDT, Tether, Bitcoin, swap without touching Liquid, because then you need Liquid to pay the fee with Liquid. is a fucking mess. Instead, I like the idea that they are trying to build a virtual execute environment, right, where you can execute your transaction and you can still go on chain if something go wrong with your funds. So I like the vision that they are bringing to the space. I don't know if the same vision is between the two companies that are building this protocol, but the Arc Labs is having with Arcade is having a very interesting idea on, okay, we are your environment, you build whatever you want. That is, for me, I give in Prague a channel factory demo where you can build on LDK and Lampo. That is one of my side projects. A channel factory with Arc without forking anything, change anything. Is just using the library and build the channel factory. And then also they want they are working on try to support everything that we are currently doing on Lightning, but trying to avoid to swap on Liquid, for instance. And I don't think if that I can say much on that because I'm not involved with the company itself, but
Maybe
there are a lot of things. Yeah.
one day we'll invite him, the CEO Arc, to
Yeah.
talk to us. A lot of people will be interested. And we had the luck to have him here in Lugano. I mean,
Yeah,
anyway,
theater is kind of crazy. You can talk about 2 days about
yeah,
the
it's not immediate to understand. I got something. It's difficult also because
yeah.
it's not out there yet, so we don't really know.
Yeah, and
Yes,
I hope when will be out there will be still difficult to understand because this means that they made a really nice UX to use from people, right? In Lightning, everyone know that you need to open a channel at some point, and this is what is killing Lightning, the complexity to get started. So I hope that the art complexity will be there, right? For 4 people of the company, I don't care. I want just to make my transaction and they work. I don't know if I am in the arc or if I am on chain or whatever. So I hope that we will never get there, but we will see.
it's a really interesting point for me, the fact that now there is a liquid which acts as a buffer, and especially on the Aqua wallet, they bring some volume in it, and it brings some usability. But with this interaction, now we have with the Lightning Network interoperable with Arc, and Arc scaling, I mean, reducing a lot the load on the layer 2s. So do you see Liquid Network like dying, or as I think being transformed in a software solution company where the software as a service can be built on top, especially in the security field? And do you think there will be detachment somehow if it's too successful?
Yeah, I think the Liquid take place. Took again popularity when Aqua was out and say, "Oh, this is the only Lightning wallet that I can use," right? Because the other wallet was so bad that I need to use a non Lightning wallet to make it work. Likely we make some step forward in Lightning Network with Phoenix, but yeah, we have this. Yeah, we give the possibility to Aqua to be a real thing, because you don't need to. If Lightning works well, why you need to swap on Liquid? There is any reason to do that. But yeah, I don't know when it is coming, but Arc will be compatible with Lightning, so I imagine that at some point we will have some swap between Lightning and Arc and vice versa. And at this point, why I need to stay on Liquid and trust blockchain if I can do an unilateral exit and stay on Bitcoin. But I think Bitcoin is still missing this way of tokenization of stuff. I don't know if it's possible to do on Arc 2 this, but at the moment, the Liquid can play the card till taproot asset is not a thing in production, or RGB to be the tokenization chain where you can always be pegged with Bitcoin. So you are not going to Ethereum to make a stable coin, right? Or whatever. But I never saw the point of Liquid in general. I am a user of Liquid because USDT, but I am thinking that probably I made a bad choice to use USDT on Liquid because no exchanges accept it outside of Bitfinex. So if I every time that I need to swap something is a fucking mess. And yeah, probably the Liquid will be something in the future. I don't know what would be, right?
Yeah, but Liquid looks like more secure with 84 HSMs underneath to in
Yeah.
security, as opposed to the other protocols which are good to transact, but they miss this key feature of security, so
Yeah, it's
that
true.
can transform itself in a security provider maybe in the future.
Yeah, this is something that I can see became something that will be a layer that will be just, I don't know, between banks. So I don't know. I'm just a techie guy, and probably I never see this use case, but probably other people can because they have this problem to solve. Yeah.
Yeah, Alessandro, because there are different levels of newbies. There are newbies as individual, and there are also newbies as institution. Or no?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Yes. Uh,
One
I
question for Vincenzo, considering his experience as a developer. So I am in Bitcoin, like with a good understanding. We never finished to learn about Bitcoin, but start 2021, 22, and I heard people many reasons why people are not interested in Bitcoin. They are not investing. Many are misconceptions. One is the quantum computing. Is not a misconception, but I hear from many Bitcoin advocates that everyone agrees it's a theoretical threat, but not for now because of the logical COVID. But at one point, maybe it's not our generation, maybe not the next one, it may happen that a quantum computer will be there. And how do you think Bitcoin will react? Will the network, many they are saying the network will agree on something against the quantum computing, but we know also that also from the Bitcoin wars, block size wars, that is very hard changing
Yes.
something in Bitcoin. So how do you think it will play out in the future?
Yeah, as you say, Bitcoin World is a chapter, is a book too. So I think the Bitcoin community will react really badly as usual because it's the way how they do stuff. Um, and but at some point we have to deal with it, right? We don't know what is the point. There are people in the preceding Bitcoin this week was a quantum computing conference. They was discussing exactly this, where okay, we don't do anything and we can wait everyone that move the money to a quantum safe signature scheme or whatever, or we can leave this money to someone that is able to unlock it, or maybe we need to react and we hard force Bitcoin, say, to move all the money that are quantum safe, quantum unsafe to quantum safe. Um, I don't understand enough quantum to make this judgment. Usually, for me, like quantum is like okay, we will go programming all with AI, or AI will replace programming, and then you try programming and you need to say, oh, what you did, you need to do, you need. It's like a kid right now. Probably in the future will be not because I'm not able to see that
Okay.
far, but at the moment he's a kid, so okay, probably he will replace me, but right now is not. Same thing with quantum. Probably is a problem, and we may want to we may want someone that is thinking at it, right? I don't know, full time, part time, who cares, something that will know that, and propose some exit path, right? probably in Bitcoin is always like that. Or we activate something too soon, or we activate something too late. So is we in Bitcoin we will never be the right time, and where everyone will agree. Right now there is the OPT or OPT return war that is kind of a war, but it's not a war. What is the right point? I don't know. So is same thing for the quantum, I guess.
Yeah,
Thanks. So we will know more also year over year when quantum develop, when also maybe the Bitcoin network will be more aware.
Yeah, if I need to bet when something will change, is something when someone will lose money. In Lightning, we will learn this every time. There is a fee spike, and we change something in the protocol in 2 days. And they may be a problem, but who cares? It will never happen, right? And then it will happen. You patch on the fly, and it's,
And then you focus.
yeah, then you focus again on another problem. It will never happen. So it's. So yeah, this is the truth. At least this is what I don't like of Bitcoin right now. Is this okay? We don't care. This will not happen, and then fee spike and channel got closed. People lose money, and same thing with quantum. I hope that is not my wallet. So I will I will try to stay on the edge.
Thank you. Thank you for the answer.
But on this point, don't you think the consensus in Bitcoin from the developer, from the core developers, has changed? It's not the same as the block size war anymore. It looks like a completely shift. And so the more nodes, the better, of course. But also the more voices, the more a bit messy, confusing that can be, because Bitcoin survived before to a huge threat, and now it risks getting lost. What do you think?
Yeah, this is true. The core contributor are not the one that I start to contribute with. I have a project that I'm sharing with Vladimir, that was the lead tech maintainer of Bitcoin Core. He was leading me around, okay, peer review, fixing stuff. I was fixing stuff for him on Core Lightning and vice versa. Right now is missing this kind of experience around, right? There is no Vladimir, there is Peter Woolley a little bit, but is kind of doing is protected by a couple of other people, in the sense that is not there discussing as was at the beginning. Also, I think he's not the maintainer anymore, so he don't have the key inside the Bitcoin Core signature scheme anymore for signing the release. I hope, and I think in every technology there is a peak of interest and a low of interest, and usually the tech peak of interest is the opposite of when the other people will be interested in it, right? Because if I was a core maintainer and everyone came to shit posting on my Twitter, I got really angry. I got angry for way less important stuff. So imagine if this will happen to me. I feel what means be a core maintainer in the public. Also, you need to be protected in a way, legally protected, and there are people that cannot step in some country anymore because they get sued in UK probably a while back. There was some maintainer that was Matt Corallo, I guess, Peter Woolley, Vladimir, that was legally sued in UK to revert the Bitcoin core change to give the money to a guy. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not involved in that, but I know that happening was
The,
happening.
and that's the problem. I mean, I think that the early consensus is different from the later stage consensus,
Yes.
because as Bitcoin goes to the masses, then what really matters and what makes it privacy censorship resistant, it will fade away. So I'm not saying we should rush to go with covenants and things which are really needed, but we cannot for sure sleep because if we wait for too long, it crosses the chasm, then the interest can be different. And then many times it's very likely not to be aligned with the core proposition of Bitcoin as the people who saved them in 2013, in 2014 when it was.
Yes.
So yeah, I am happy
Yeah.
really, but yeah, we shouldn't be too picky in sometimes because I think we not running out of time, but if we delay, then it becomes not manageable anymore. Could become.
Yes. I think also the people, what people are asking need to be, you need to move with a startup time, right? You cannot solve a problem in 2 years because the startup is not there anymore, or he loses the interest or whatever. So for this reason, I guess this I am really in line with the arcade arc vision that okay, you have this virtual mempool that you can run everything that you want. I don't care. The server signed the transaction that is a 2 of 2, but the other script can be whatever you want, right? You can be a governance, can be, I don't know, some shitcoin stuff that you want to do, and you can move faster. You can experiment on arc, and then you can give Bitcoin the time that Bitcoin need to resolve this kind of stuff. And so I hope that Bitcoin will not run in a way that will 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 give everything to the start to what the startup want, because probably there are some wrong decisions that need to be taken at some point for accommodate all the requests. But if you have some layer two that you can experiment with that with some, and you can move forward with some different trade-off. But a startup is just can accept a startup a trade-off, right? Is more flexible from the legal perspective. You are not moving Amazon that they need. Uh, they are super legally constrained, all this kind of stuff. A startup can push in production and then fix later. Who cares? So probably this is one of the reasons that I am really interested in arcade. Probably we can reach finally this scalability that we wanted, right? We want to be included Revolut, Cash App, and do real. I can tell my mom that she is using my technology without knowing, right? Instead, right now, uh, a couple of people are using Lightning, and they are also
But
angry about.
the idea of this protocols, Arc, etc., to be the playground where to test things and iterate
Yeah.
before taking the decisions which are irreversible, no? That makes a lot of sense. I know there are some use cases, escrow or Arc, for instance, but
Yeah.
a lot to be built. So thinking about software as a service use case can be built on Arc, but also to solve the major conflict on chain and experiment there first, that can speed up the startup phase of Bitcoin to corporate, not risking it to make the leap without a proper vest. So that's that's
Yeah.
what my poetic
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine Taproot, for instance. Taproot was released, and Arc is one of the first usage of Taproot. Real 2 years later, right? We don't have Taproot on Lightning. Taproot in I don't know, some exchange. I don't guess they are using Taproot. So Taproot is, I don't know, use it the 1%. So we ship something, we change the consensus, we put something on the concession without that, how people was using it. There is real need of putting Taproot on that. What was the use case? Taproot was ready, not ready. I don't know. These are always the philosophical question that probably an engineer will be not never be able to answer without spending 10 days of thinking about this stuff. So
but great to have we have the possibility today. There wasn't such a
yeah,
versatile playground as there is Arc today. So it's
yeah, and Arc is built on Taproot, so probably um,
Yeah, we can
This
take
is one of the
advantage of it.
first. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, it was great, Vincenzo. Thank you for having
Thank you for
come. A
having
lot
me.
of lessons thought of today. I hope we can somehow later in the future and another episode. And this, everything on my side. That Alessandro want to closing remarks.
Thanks also from my side, Vincenzo. It's good also to have more episode with more technical background, so we can also offer more knowledge, like more 360-degree knowledge on Bitcoin. Thanks.
Yeah, I hope it was not too technical. So
No, it was it was the right level of technical for people interested in Bitcoin. Yes.
yeah, it's good. Okay, thanks for having me,
Thanks a lot.
guys.
See you next time
Thank
then.
you. Thank you.
See ya.
See you next time. See you all. Bye.